Chapter 44. I quickly checked the previous shots, the ones of only Dakota and Sean. Is it happening with them too? No, it isn't. Everything looks fine. Better than fine, in fact. I grabbed the shot of Penley again, staring, squinting hard, running my finger over it. The negative seems fine to me. Her image, though, not fine, not good, not possible. It's that same effect as with the body bags outside the Falcon. Subtle, yet definitely there. Or should I say not there? Transparent, like I can see through her. Like she's there but isn't. Penley's thin, but she's not that thin. How is this happening again? Why? I flip on the light, spinning around to face the black corkboard behind me. The other shots, my father. I never checked to see if the effect was happening with the photos of him. Did I just not notice? My eyes race along every picture pinned to the wall, and not a single one has the effect. No problem with these shots, just a man who's been dead for 12 years. So it isn't the lens after all. The new one did the same thing the old one did. Must be the camera then. At least I hope it's the camera. I remember a business card that Javier at Gotham Photo once gave me. On the back he wrote his cell phone number. I think maybe he was fishing for a date. Nonetheless, he said I should call him anytime I have a problem with my pictures. I think this qualifies. The only question now is where I put that card. I start with my wallet, shuffling through ATM receipts, my Amex, Visa, Discover, driver's license, a frequent coffee drinker card from the Java joint. Javier's card isn't there. I check all the drawers of my bedroom, including the one in my nightstand. It's amazing how much junk I accumulate. Do I really have to take a book of matches from every restaurant I eat in, for gosh sakes? Come on, Javier's card, where are you? I try to think back to when he handed it to me. When was it? What time of year? Winter, I decide. Maybe it's still in a coat. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know which one. A shearling I spurged on, a beautiful, just gotta have it, that I saw in the window at Saks. I ate a lot of tuna fish sandwiches for dinner that month, as I recall. I also recall Javier complimenting me on it when he handed me his card. I'm pretty impressed with my memory as I head for the hall closet. Maybe I'm not completely losing it. With any luck, I'll reach Javier and we can meet. I'll show him the pictures, he'll study my camera, and he'll tell me what's wrong. Simple as that, mystery solved. First things first, though, that card of his. I open the closet door. At least I try to. It's stuck. The knob twists, but the door itself seems to be jammed. Oh, brother. Now I'm not so sure I want to get into this closet. But I have to, so I pull harder. Then harder still with both hands. It's almost as if the damn door is locked from the inside. Only that's impossible, isn't it? This closet's never even been locked. Who would lock it? Changing my grip on the knob, I really put some muscle into it. I yank so hard my shoulders ache. Slowly the door begins to give until it flies open. I look inside. Oh no, oh gosh, help me. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Chapter 45. Kristen, wake up! Wake up! My eyes snap open and I gaze around, confused and out of sorts, not to mention petrified. Everything is soft focus. Where am I? You're in my apartment, says Connie, on the planet Earth. She looks concerned, scared even. Are you okay? I ask her. Am I okay? Connie shakes her head in disbelief. My gosh, the way you were screaming? I thought somebody was trying to kill you in here. I can see sunlight slicing through the blinds. It's morning, and I'm lying on the pull-out couch in Connie's living room on the Upper East Side. That much I've got figured out. Everything else is sketchy at best. I don't remember. You came here last night hysterical, explains Connie. You were going on and on about this dream and some pictures you'd taken. Oh, and you were telling me about your closet, the one in the front hallway. Is any of this ringing a bell? The cockroaches. Yeah, you said there were 1 million of them. It was horrifying just to listen to you describe it. It's the last thing I remember. The entire closet was crawling with cockroaches. Maybe not 1 million, but 1,000. I'm deathly afraid of cockroaches. They gut in my hair, on my face. The rest is a blank. Connie takes my hand. You were quite the mess, sweetie, she says. I gave you 2 Xanax and put you to bed. You slept straight through the night, not a peep. Until now. The hotel, the 4 gurneys, the hand. The same dream, only I had it in a different location. It travels. What can I get you, Kristen? How do you feel? Connie asks. Like shit. With a soundtrack to boot. Will I ever figure out what this song in my head is? I wish Connie could hear it. Maybe she'd know what it is. But she can't, so I don't mention it or anything else. If I don't understand what's happening to me, how could she? Plus, I don't want to frighten her any more than I have already. I'm fine, I tell her. In fact, what time is it? I ask, panicked. I can't be late for work. I pull back the covers and Connie stops me. Hold on, she says. This is serious, Chris. You should have heard yourself last night, the things you were saying. Something's very wrong. I think you need to see that psychiatrist of yours again. Been there, done that. I'm so sorry I scared you, I say. I've been having this recurring dream and it seems so real. I guess I've been under a lot of stress lately. What about these pictures you were ranting about? Ghostly images, transparencies? Part of the dream, I lie. Am I embarrassed about going bonkers? Ashamed? Why can't I talk to one of my best friends about this? Connie regards me for a moment. At least call in sick, she says. You need to relax. I can't, Connie. The kids depend on me. Let the pencil take care of them today. She is their mother, after all. Really, I'm fine. I fake a smile and swing my feet to the floor. Then I give Connie a little wink. Do you think I can borrow some clothes? Chapter 46. Donning a pair of black slacks and a putty gray turtleneck from Connie's closet, I'm out of her apartment in less than 10 minutes. Normally it takes me a little longer to get ready for work. Then again, normally I don't have someone, in this case Connie, eyeing me as if any moment I might climb onto a chair and begin shouting, I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So, as I walk into the Turnbull's building and ride the elevator up to the penthouse, I experience something new and different, being early. Good, no chance of Penley waiting for me at the door. Instead, it's Sean I see immediately. He's sitting on the floor of the foyer, engrossed in the bright-colored Legos scattered around him. He doesn't even hear me come in. Good morning, sweetheart. Sean glances up, beaming. Hi, Miss Kristen. I kneel next to him. What you building? Looks impressive. Shazam, what is that? A super galactic missile launcher that will save the world from the evil aliens of planet Thunder. Wow, are they planning to attack us? I think so, he says with the cutest nod. I automatically give him the once-over, checking to see that he's properly dressed for school. He is, from his head right down to his little toes, which happen to be covered by his Jimmy, or is it Penley, neutron socks. Where's Dakota? I ask. She's in her room. I straighten up, barely taking a step before Sean adds, we're not supposed to bother her. What do you mean? She isn't going to school today, he says, his eyes glued back on the Legos. Is she not feeling well? I don't know for sure. Mommy seems pretty mad, though. The words twist my stomach into a million knots. Maybe Dakota came down with a cold, or maybe she couldn't keep a secret. I kneel next to Sean again. What did you hear Mommy say, sweetheart? He snaps another Lego into place. Hey, look at this, Miss Kristen. Sean makes a whoosh sound, waving his missile launcher back and forth. That's neat, I say, struggling to be patient, but can you tell me what Mommy said? You remember, Sean? My mind explodes with the thought of Dakota spilling the beans to Penley. I saw Miss Kristen at Nana and Papa's house. She and Daddy were together. Is this how it ends? How this insane house of cards comes crashing down? I peer over my shoulder at the door of the apartment. The instinct rising inside me is like a power surge to the brain. Run. Get out of here. You don't want to face her. But before I can make a mad dash, I hear Penley's mincing footsteps around the corner of the foyer. I turn to look, and there she is staring right at me. Speak of the devil, she says. Chapter 47. Sean, dear, can you go to your room, please? Asked Penley, her voice actually kind of gentle and sweet. Too sweet, I'm thinking. She's overcompensating for what's to come, the bloody showdown when it's just the two of us out here. Is it too late to make a run for it? Sean scoops up his missile launcher and shuffles off toward his room. I'm half tempted to beg him to stay. Penley wouldn't try to kill me in front of her stepson, would she? Not knowing what to do, I stoop and begin gathering the remaining Legos on the floor. That can wait, she says. Come, we need to talk. Dressed in her workout clothes, what else? Penley leads me into the living room, motioning for me to have a seat on the green satin couch against the wall. She takes one of the two armchairs facing it, and we both settle in. So, how was your weekend? She asks. I can't believe it. She's toying with me. The pleasant smile and friendly tone. She never asks about my weekend. Never. It was fine, I answer. Do anything special? No, not really. Oh yeah, I did see and talk to my dead father. Almost forgot. She's trying to get me to confess. Is that her game? Nothing doing. I'll tell her the same thing Michael told Dakota. We're planning her surprise party. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. How about yourself, I ask, matching her broad smile, tooth for tooth. Did you have a nice weekend? Very nice, she says. We spent yesterday out in the country at my parents' place. Oh? I mentioned we were doing that, didn't I? You might have. Actually, you didn't. Michael did. You know, you should come out with us sometime, she says. It's on the water. There's a pool and a tennis court. It's a very nice escape from the city. Oh, you're good, Penley. If this is how you want to play it, I'll make it easy for you. Gee, I bet the kids really enjoy it. They truly do. What kid doesn't enjoy being around the water? She folds her legs. Strange, though. What's that? Dakota. Finally, here we go. Yes, I say. Sean mentioned she wasn't feeling well. Actually, I'm not sure what's wrong with her. By the time we were heading home yesterday, she seemed a little off. She doesn't have a temperature, and it's not her stomach. Something's bothering her, though. Any ideas? I don't say anything. Every muscle tenses, and I brace myself for the moment. Surely this is when she lays down her cards. Instead, all Penley does is shrug. I'm sure Dakota will be fine. She's tough. Takes after Michael, she says. Just in case, I thought we'd keep her home from school today. She flicks her wrist. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I barely manage to swallow. No? Guess who I spoke to last night? As long as it's anyone but Dakota, I couldn't care less at this point. I'm swimming in relief. Who? I ask. My friend Steven. Takes me a moment to connect the dots. Oh, the guy from your gym. The cute one? Exactly, she says, the very cute one. So, tell me, do you have any plans for tonight? Because you do now. Chapter 48. Did you know that some female cockroaches mate once and are pregnant for the rest of their lives? Wow, I say, nodding my head and feigning amazement rather than repulsion. The guy wipes his nose on his sleeve while making some weird clicking noise in his throat that I've never heard any other human make. No wonder there are so many little suckers, right? Yeah, I say, no wonder. Of course, things could be a lot worse. This guy could be my blind date for the evening. Instead, he's my nooner, the exterminator. On my lunch break, I meet him at my apartment, actually outside my apartment. There was no way I was going back in there by myself. Anyway, he's a fittingly creepy-looking man with thick black rimmed glasses that magnify his eyes. He sort of reminds me of Stephen King, the pictures I've seen of him anyway. Of course, pictures lie. Thing is, cockroaches are basically built to survive almost anything, he says. Did you know they can hold their breath for up to 40 minutes? Interesting. You are full of information, aren't you? He adjusts his spray nozzle. So, you saw them in the closet here, huh? I nod. Yeah, just a couple thousand of them. Then that's where we'll start. Sounds like a plan. As he reaches for the closet door, I stand back. I don't want to look. I don't even want to be here. He mutters, looking around. What? There's not a single dropping on the floor. As if correcting himself, he raises a palm. Not that I don't believe you, of course. I watch as he flicks on his flashlight, shining it against the closet walls. What about your neighbors? He asks. What about them? You all get along? He wipes his nose on his sleeve again. I've had situations where one neighbor sabotages another with cockroaches, letting them loose in vents or through holes they drill. Happens more than you'd think. I immediately try to picture Mrs. Rosencrantz or her Herbert doing something so wicked. Suppose I wouldn't put it past them. We walk the rest of the apartment. Every nook and cranny gets sprayed and resprayed. A few times I even try to tell him that he missed a spot. What's in here? He asks at the last door down the hallway. That's just my darkroom. I open the door for him, flipping on the light. He walks in and looks around, intrigued. After a few quick squirts of his spray nozzle, he notices the pictures pinned to the walls. He stops at one of my father. You know this man, don't you? He asks. Why do you say that? His expression, the way he's looking at you and not the camera. In fact, I'd say you know him quite well. You're right, he's my father. He then leans in, really examining the picture. Was he a good man? Excuse me? I said, was he? No, I heard you okay. That's kind of an odd question, don't you think? Actually, I think it's the only question. For all of us, that is. In the end, we're only the sum of the choices we make, right? Oh, great, the existential exterminator. I'm beginning to get the heebie-jeebies from this guy. It's bad enough that he looks creepy. Does he have to talk creepy as well? I can feel an attack of the hives coming on. And how did you know my father's dead? You said, was he a good man? He shrugs. I guess I just assumed. From looking at a recently developed picture of him. We're talking serious heebie-jeebies now. This guy can't leave my apartment fast enough. It's possible that he's as scary as thousands of cockroaches all by himself. So are we all done here? I ask hastily. I'm sorry. I've offended you, haven't I? No, it's okay. I think I'm a little on edge thanks to the roaches. Among other things. He pats his trusty spray canister. Hopefully we've taken care of that for a while. About how long does the poison last? A month or so. That's all? You'd think there'd be something better in this day and age. You mean something that lasts forever? Exactly. He shakes his head. No, I'm afraid there's only one thing in this world that lasts forever. Let me guess. Love? No, he says, leaning in close. That'd be your soul. Chapter 49. At 8:30, I walk into the bustling Ilios on 2nd Avenue near 84th Street and scan the bar area, keeping in mind the description I've been given. Tall, dark, very handsome, answers to Stephen. If you say so, Penley. You're the boss. And believe me, if you weren't, there's no way I'd be going through with this blind date. Not right now, especially. Excuse me, are you Kristen? I'd turn around and look up at a pair of amazingly high cheekbones. As for the rest of him, I take a quick glance. Tall, dark, very handsome. Check, check, check. You must be Stephen, I say, and can't keep a slight smile off my face. A minute later, we're sitting at a cozy table for two along the wall. Michael would be so jealous. But that's not why I'm feeling guilty. As Stephen and I talk and get acquainted, he owns a film editing company, likes to rock climb. It seems as if he's a genuinely nice guy. I feel bad that I'm wasting his time. My heart belongs to Michael. After a few minutes, I think Stephen picks up on it. Are you seeing someone? He asks. I feel even worse having to lie. No, I answer, there's no one. Penley told me you weren't, but I guess I wanted to make sure. He smiles. Nice smile, too. I should talk, right? I assume you heard about my situation? I shake my head. Just that you recently came out of a relationship. That's one way to put it, I guess. Personally, I prefer the word dumped. What happened, if you don't mind me asking? I made a mistake, he says, shaking his head. I got involved with someone who's married. Oh. Thankfully, the awkward silence is broken by the waiter arriving to announce the night specials. By the time he's done telling us about the veal osso buco, the blackened sea bass, and a delightful seafood risotto. I'm thinking it's safe to change the subject to Stephen. Think again. So, tell me more about your film editing company, I say as the waiter strolls off. It's as if he doesn't even hear me. You know what the worst part is? I believed her, he says. She kept telling me how she was going to leave her husband. I really should have known better. They never leave. I immediately reach for my glass of water. My mouth is dry, like I've been eating saltines on the Sahara. Hey, are you okay? Yes, you look uncomfortable. I'm fine, he sighs. Geez, listen to me going on and on about my ex. I apologize. It's okay, I understand. Do you? Sure, I say. It's not easy letting go. I did it once, big time, with Matthew of Boston. You're right, but there's something else and it's been killing me. What's that? The guilt. It never occurred to me until the relationship ended, he says. I mean, where did I get off trying to break up a marriage? I hear him say the words and I have to remind myself that he's not talking about me. This is about him. But weirdly, I can't help feeling defensive. The parallel to Michael and me is unmistakable and more than a little unnerving. Clearly, this woman you were seeing doesn't have a good marriage, I point out. Yes, but good or bad, it's still a marriage. I shouldn't have been trying to ruin it. They've got kids, for Christ's sake. But she doesn't really love them, I blurt out. He looks at me sideways. Excuse me? Say something, Kristen, anything. At least get your size 8 out of your mouth. I clear my throat, trying to reel myself in. Then I put my hand on top of his. I just think you're being too hard on yourself, Stephen. Remember, it takes two to tango. Yeah, he says, leaning in closer, except you're forgetting one thing. What's that? No one's ever forced to dance, are they? 8. Chapter 50. I need some air. That's all I'm thinking as I say goodbye to Stephen. Our evening ends on the sidewalk outside Elio's with an exchange of awkward smiles, a peck on my cheek, and the unspoken understanding that this is our first and last date. Can I hail you a cab? He asks. That's okay. I think I'm going to walk for a bit. It doesn't matter where, and for the next hour or so I pay no attention to the street signs. I wander aimlessly. It's only when I get a strange feeling in my stomach that I look up for the first time and see where I am. 60th and Madison, right smack in front of the Falcon Hotel. Coincidence? I wish. I'm starting to believe that everything is happening for a reason. If only I could figure out what it is. Something has to tie all this together, make sense of it. Maybe the strangest thing of all, the Falcon and I have a history, something I never talk about, not even to Michael. It happened my first week in New York, actually, just before I left Matthew of Boston. Since then, I try not to think about it, but here I am. Standing in front of the hotel, watching as a few well-heeled guests exit and enter under the same red awning where the 4 gurneys came rolling out. I can't help dwelling on one of the other strange, quote-unquote coincidences, my pictures. Specifically, the transparent effect that happened with the body bags and then with Penley. There has to be some logical connection here, but what is it? And does everything in life have to be logical? Since when? It would be so easy to say that the dream I keep having is a premonition. I never used to believe in that psychic stuff, but now I'm willing to change my mind. Except the dream already came true. I saw it with my own eyes, standing in this exact spot, no less. The people in those body bags are stone cold dead. Penley, as if I needed to be reminded, is very much alive. Don't go there. Can't help it, though. The thought creeps into my head, as it's done a few times before. I know it's wrong. I know it's horrible even to think it. And still I do. It's Penley who stands in the way of everything. Were it not for her, I'd have Michael. I'd have Dakota and Sean. I'd have everything I ever wanted. If only Penley weren't in the picture. Chapter 51. Seriously, don't go there. With every step, I try talking myself out of it, but there's another voice, a louder voice, one I barely even recognize as my own, propelling me. My strides get longer and faster. I'm moving on adrenaline from head to toe. The night air is crisp, a lot cooler than usual for May. I feel a slight sting on my cheeks. I look up. Yes, of course there's a full moon. What should be a 10-minute walk takes only 5, and before I know it, I'm standing right across the street from Michael's building. I check my watch. It's a few minutes past midnight. And you thought you got Michael Inger in Connecticut? That was nothing compared to this. Through the large glass panels flanking the entrance, I can see the night doorman killing time at his desk. I try to remember his name, and I'm almost positive it's Adam. I've only met him once or twice before when he was filling in on the day shift. It doesn't matter. I dial the building's number on my cell phone and watch as he picks up. They always answer the same way, announcing the address in lieu of hello. Is this Adam, I ask? Yes. Hi, it's Kristen, the nanny for the Turnbulls. Listen, I was wondering if you could do me a favor. Louis let me use the staff bathroom off the lobby this morning. I think I might have left my purse in there. Can you check for me? Sorry. Sure, hold on a second. He puts down the phone and disappears behind the door near his desk. A starter's pistol fires in my head. Go. I dart across Fifth Avenue and burst through the front entrance. Racing through the empty lobby, I make it safely to the stairwell before Adam returns. I'm in. I hang up my cell and tiptoe up 5 flights so I'm well out of earshot, and then I call Adam back. Sorry to hang up on you, I had another call coming in, I say. Any luck? No, I'm afraid I didn't see your purse. It's not at the front desk either. Darn, I thought that's where I left it. Thanks for looking, though. No problem, he says. That's for sure. You learn a lot about a building after working in it for a couple of years. In the case of the Turnbulls, it so happens there are no security cameras on the stairs. Goody for me. Now comes the hard part. It's called breaking and entering. Chapter 52. I hike the remaining 13 flights, struggling to catch my breath as I reach the penthouse. I check my watch again, which is just a nervous tick, I know. Lights out at the Turnbulls is usually no later than 10. Michael rises with the sun, and Penley sees the benefit of a good night's sleep strictly from a cosmetic point of view. Gosh, forbid she ever has bags under her eyes. Still, I cool my heels for another 15 minutes. One last chance, perhaps, to come to my senses. The chance passes. Thumbing through my keys, I find the one Penley gave me when I first began working for her. I distinctly recall her saying something snotty and condescending about it being a symbol of trust. What? Like I'm going to use it to break in one night? The key clutched tightly in my hand, I gingerly approached the door and its solid brass lock. Turning my wrist ever so slowly, I try to dull the inevitable snap of the deadbolt. It's so quiet around me in the hallway. Too quiet. I'm afraid even the slightest noise will wake everyone. The lock cooperates, barely a sound, and I step inside. Can't see a thing at first. It's pitch black, but I know the apartment so well. It wouldn't matter if I were blindfolded. This is so insane. What am I doing? Crossing the foyer, I walk down the long hallway to the bedrooms. Half of me is still pumping with adrenaline, the other half utter fear. It's like I'm on a tightrope without a net. There's no excuse for my being here, at least none that anyone else would understand. I'm steps away from Dakota's room. I don't intend to go in, and yet that's exactly what I do. I feel the need to look at her, to see her sleeping peacefully, and thanks to the glow of a small, heart-shaped nightlight by her bed, I can. Nestled under her pink cover, she looks so angelic. I love Dakota and Sean, who wouldn't? Farther down the hallway, I slip into Sean's room. No such luck with the nightlight. He doesn't like them. Squinting, I can barely make out his tiny silhouette in the darkness. I edge closer and closer to him when, disaster, I kick something. Legos! The sound of crashing plastic rips through the room as one of Sean's fantastic creations splatters against the wall. He stirs and I freeze, holding my breath, my heart thumping out of control. Mommy, he mutters. Shit. What now? I'm about to panic when it comes to me. Yes, honey, I whisper, this is just a dream. Go back to sleep now, okay? He seems to think it over for a few agonizing seconds. Okay, he says finally. Phew, I figure if he were really awake, he'd recognize my voice. Still, it's a little too close for comfort. I should take the hint and escape from the apartment as fast as possible. All I have to do is turn left out of Sean's room and never look back. Instead, I turn right and keep going down the hallway to Michael and Penley's room.